Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya reviews COVID-19 preparedness in the country. Union Home Minister Amit Shah asked states to form district-level committees to fight menace of drug abuse. Parliament passes Maritime Anti Piracy Bill 2022 to act against piracy beyond exclusive economic zone. In Kashmir Valley, temperatures dip below freezing point. And in cricket, second and final test between India and Bangladesh to begin in Dhaka tomorrow. Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya today chaired a high-level meeting to review the COVID-19 situation in the country. He also reviewed the preparedness of the public health system for surveillance, containment and management of COVID-19 situation. The meeting was held in view of the recent spike in COVID-19 cases in China, Japan, South Korea, France and the US. Emphasizing the challenges posed by the increasing number of cases in some countries, Dr. Mandaviya noted the importance of being prepared and remaining alert against new and emerging strains of COVID-19, especially in view of the upcoming festive season. He said the government is prepared to manage any situation. The health minister also urged people to follow COVID-appropriate behavior and get vaccinated against COVID. During the meeting, Dr. Mandaviya also asked officials to strengthen the surveillance system for whole genome sequencing of positive case samples to ensure timely detection of newer variants, if any, circulating in the country. States and union territories have also been requested to send samples of all COVID-19 positive cases to genome sequencing laboratories on a daily basis. During the presentation, it was informed that India has been witnessing a steady decline in cases, with average daily cases falling to 158 in the week ending the 19th of this month. A consistent rise in global daily average cases, however, has been reported in the last 6 weeks. It was briefed that a new and highly transmissible BF.7 strain of the Omicron variant has been found to be behind a wider surge of COVID infections in China. Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya has asked Congress MP Rahul Gandhi and Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot to ensure that COVID-19 rules are followed during Bharat Jodo Yatra or suspended in national interest. In a separate letter to both leaders, he said COVID guidelines should be strictly followed during the Yatra, which is currently going on in Rajasthan. The Health Minister said Rajasthan MPs had written to him that a number of Bharat Jodo Yatra participants have been detected COVID-19 positive. He said he took experts' views and wrote to Mr. Gandhi.
भारत जोड़ो यात्रा में गए हुए कई लोगों को कोविड पॉजिटिव पाया गया है। भारत सरकार का हेल्थ मिनिस्टर होने के नाते मेरा दायित्व है कि देश में कोविड ना फैले, देश के सभी नागरिक स्वस्थ रहे, देश के हेल्थ मिनिस्टर अपना दायित्व अदा करता हो, कोविड प्रोटोकॉल का पालन करके कोविड ना फैले उसके लिए कोई मार्गदर्शक सूचना जारी करे, तो उसके खिलाफ भी प्रश्न उठाना मैं मानता हूं कि ये मेरे कर्तव्य निर्वहन करने के लिए बाधा रूप है।
Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur sought to know whether a specific family is above all protocol. Meanwhile, Congress alleged that BJP MPs sent the letter following the enormous success of the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Party General Secretary Jairam Ramesh said Parliament is meeting normally and masks are no longer compulsory anywhere, including in the flights. Mr. Ramesh said if there is a COVID-19 protocol for gatherings, Bharat Jodo Yatra will undoubtedly abide by it. Beijing may see a surge in severe COVID-19 cases over the next fortnight, a leading Chinese health official and respiratory expert has warned. State media reported that Wang Guangfa, a respiratory expert from Peking University First Hospital, has urged medical institutions to expand intensive care units (ICUs) and boost medical resources to address the impending wave of infections. Our Beijing correspondent has reported that medical resources in the capital city are facing additional stress. Cases driven by the BF.7 strain in Beijing are mainly symptomatic, which often triggers high fever and other extreme symptoms. Home Minister Amit Shah has appealed to the states to form district-level N-code committees to fight the menace of drug abuse at the ground level. Replying to a short-duration discussion in the Lok Sabha on drug abuse and steps taken by the government, Mr. Shah said the centre has prepared a survey and information input-based drug network chart mapping of 472 districts in the country. He said that 4-tier ENCODE committees have already been formed and the fight against drug abuse has to be intensified at the district level. Mr. Shah also said the centre is taking the help of the youth trained in data analytics and technologies in detecting the movement of drugs precisely. He informed that many high-level and big seizures were possible in the last 2 years with the information.
आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के वर्ष में मोदी जी ने नशा मुक्त भारत का संकल्प समग्र देश के सामने रखा है और जब से सरकार बनी तब से गंभीरता पूर्वक इस दिशा में ढेर सारी कार्यवाही भी हुई। मैं सदन को फिर से एक बार आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं कि नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार की ड्रग के कारोबार पर और उसके मुनाफे से आतंकवाद के वित्त पोषण पर जीरो टॉलरेंस की नीति है।
Minister of State for Atomic Energy, Dr. Jitendra Singh, has said that Russian state-owned nuclear energy corporation Rosatom has offered a more advanced TVS-2M type fuel to the Kudankulam nuclear power plant. Dr. Singh informed this in a written reply to a question in the Lok Sabha today. He said the first lot of TVS-2M fuel assemblies were loaded in Unit 1 and they are performing satisfactorily. He added the use of TVS-2M fuel assemblies in KK and PP reactors will allow 18-month operating cycles as against a 12-month operating cycle with UTVS fuel assemblies presently in use in Unit 2. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Parliament has passed the Maritime Anti Piracy Bill 2022 with the Rajya Sabha approving it today. The bill has already been passed by the Lok Sabha. The bill enables Indian authorities to take action against piracy on the high seas. It applies to the sea beyond the exclusive economic zone, which is beyond 200 nautical miles from India's coastline. Replying to a discussion on the bill, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said the bill will strengthen India's credentials as a partner with other countries to make the world more piracy-free.
Between 2014 and 2022, 155 Indian crew members were involved in 19 cases. If the numbers today have come down, sir, those numbers have come down because international cooperation has got stronger. And we can be more credible as an international partner if we have a law. And that is why today's consideration of this bill will strengthen our credentials as a partner with other countries to make sure that the world is more piracy-free.
Dr. S. Jaishankar said this bill will provide an effective legal instrument to combat maritime piracy.
India has taken a lead on issues of maritime security at multilateral fora. The passing of this bill enhance our global credentials and standing in the Committee of Nations. It will strengthen our maritime security, including the safety of our maritime trade routes and the well-being of Indian seafarers in international waters.
Earlier participating in the discussion, Dr. Sasmit Patra of BJD thanked the External Affairs Minister for bringing the bill, saying India never had a domestic law on maritime anti-piracy. Jawahar Sarkar of TMC said maritime piracy has reached a very high proportion and therefore the bill has been brought in timely. Vivek Ketanka of Congress and NR Elango of DMK, among others, participated in the discussion. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has kick-started the ground survey of Pey Jal Sarvekshan from the 15th of this month. The survey will assess the service level compliance of the city with respect to quality, quantity and coverage of water supply, sewerage and septage management, the extent of reuse and recycling of used water and conservation of water bodies in 500 Amrut cities. The government has said over 95% of Mahatma Gandhi Narega payments have been generated within 15 days. Minister of State for Rural Development Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti said this in a written reply to a question in the Rajya Sabha today. She said the ministry has taken various steps to ensure timely payment of wages to workers under the Mahatma Gandhi Narega. The minister clarified that the state government shall pay the compensation up front after due verification within the time limits as specified and recover the same from the functionaries or agencies which are responsible for the delayed payment. Parliament has approved the first batch of supplementary demands for grants, allowing the government to spend net additional 3.25 lakh crore rupees in the current financial year. The Rajya Sabha today returned the appropriation number 4 and number 5 bills to the Lok Sabha after discussion. Replying to the discussion, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said additional demands for grants have been made for ensuring the food security of people to effectively deal with the challenges posed in the energy, food and fertilizer supply chain side by the Ukraine-Russia conflict. The Kashmir Valley witnessed temperatures dipping below the freezing point, marking the beginning of the harshest 40-day winter period today. It has begun on a chilling note today as night temperature came down further. Here is more from our Srinagar correspondent.
The most severe part of the winter in Kashmir is divided into three parts called the Chilai Kalan, the Chilai Khorad and the Chilai Bach. The Chilai Kalan is the 40-day period of harsh winter which begins on December 21st and ends on January 31st. During the period, the weather in Kashmir continues to remain dry and cold with minimum temperatures hovering below the freezing point. As per a meteorological center, Srinagar, the capital city recorded the coldest night of the season at minus 4.2 degrees Celsius on the intervening night of Tuesday and Wednesday. The weatherman has predicted intense cold wave in coming days. Sunil Kaul, AR News, Srinagar.
In cricket, the second and final test of the series between India and Bangladesh will begin at the Sher-e-Bangla National Stadium in Dhaka tomorrow. The match will begin at 9 a.m. Indian time. The KL Rahul-led Indian side leads 1-0 after winning the first test at Chattogram by 188 runs. Cheteshwar Pujara, Kuldeep Yadav and Shubman Gill shone in the first game, and the team would be expecting a similar performance from the players. Indian skipper Rohit Sharma has been ruled out of the series due to injury. United World Wrestling has announced the Asian Wrestling Championships 2023 schedule. It will take place between March the 28th and to the April 2nd in New Delhi. The championship will feature men's freestyle, women's freestyle and men's Greco-Roman divisions. The BSE Sensex and the NSE Nifty today witnessed losses of more than 1%. We have a report from the business desk.
The Sensex fell 635 points to settle at 61,065. The Nifty also slipped 185 points to finish at 18,199. At the multi-commodity exchange, gold futures for February were trading at 55,000 rupees per 10 grams. Silver futures for March were trading at 69,600 rupees per kilogram when reports last came in. And oil prices rose after data suggested a larger than expected draw in U.S. crude stockpiles. In intraday trade, Brent crude was trading at $81.40 per barrel. Gaura Dhawanlal for AIR News.
Governor of Reserve Bank of India, Shaktikant Das, has warned the public against crypto trading, stating that it poses an inherent risk to the country's macroeconomic and financial stability. Speaking at an event in Mumbai this morning, the RBI governor said the next financial crisis could come from cryptocurrency if it grows. The RBI governor highlighted the high volatility of these assets, stating that cryptocurrency is now worth $140 billion, a loss of around $40 billion this year. He also mentioned that the majority of central bankers across the world have been wary of cryptocurrencies. Administrative preparations have begun for the proposed meeting of the 4th Permanent Finance Working Group of the G20 Group in Chhattisgarh's capital, Raipur, in September next year. A meeting of the state-level coordination committee constituted for the arrangements for this meeting was organized in Raipur. State Chief Secretary Amitabh Jain has instructed that discussions and seminars should be organized in institutions like IIM and AIIMS and in schools and colleges with the aim to make the youth aware about the theme of G20. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandaviya reviews COVID-19 preparedness in the country. Union Home Minister Amit Shah asked states to form district-level committees to fight menace of drug abuse. Parliament passes Maritime Anti Piracy Bill 2022 to act against piracy beyond exclusive economic zone. In Kashmir Valley, temperatures dip below freezing point. And in cricket, second and final test between India and Bangladesh to begin in Dhaka tomorrow. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. That is all in the news at 9. Good night.